Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Finger Guns Podcast with Tony, David, James. I'm your stuffy, nasally co-host, Jimmy, and I'm here with...
Big T, Tony B.
Yeah. And...
Dramatic Dave.
Always with the drums with you.
Yeah, I've been putting on quite the best actor-worthy performance lately. So
good.
I just got to keep my drama numbers up. My son is the same way. We all take after my father, his grandfather. So Tony knows it well. I'm surprised he's not dramatic Tony. He can just be Tony B for now. But I know he's just as much of a drama queen as I am.
Yeah, Big T,
Tony B.
Sorry, I forgot.
The T is capital.
I apologize.
The other day on Instagram, Tony had posted that Starbucks got his drink order name wrong.
Oh yeah,
and I was just like, "Why? You went with the most ridiculous version of your name you could have. Why didn't you go with Big T Tony B? They can't mess up Big T Tony B. Everybody knows Big T Tony B.
Can I start calling you Jake? Is that what it was? It was Jake, right?
It was Jake. Okay,
I went to start calling you Jake.
That fucking Starbucks though, they have not gotten my name right once.
Yeah.
Like I went out because it's always JP. Because every time I say Tony, they always are just like Tommy. I'm like, what grown man is named fucking Tommy?
That's why you gotta go Big T Tony B.
I do know a grown man named Tommy.
I know
of a grown man named Tommy.
I know
Pickles?
multiple.
No, not Tommy Pickles.
I know multiple people named Tommy, and that's besides the point. I hate being called fucking Tommy.
All right.
It is one of my pet peeves. So I always say JP. So the first time it was JB, and I was like, okay, well that's close. Then the next time I get my cup, right? I get my fucking cup. I was like, that's not even remotely close to what I fucking said.
Nope. This is also why I just use the Starbucks app and I swipe my card and they have my name attached to it and they just print it out and I don't have to give them shit.
I need to get into the app. Melissa's going to abuse me when she finds out how much I use Starbucks beside my work.
Oh, man. Yeah, you do got to collect the stars, homie.
Yeah,
you could
I got
be having free drinks and shit.
But I could have had a free drink on my birthday and I didn't fucking do it. Yeah, I know. It's the worst.
That's amateur
mistake. Amateur mistake.
Amateur. You gotta go to every single place that gives free food. Remember fucking Tucker's Marketplace, man?
Tucker's place, Marketplace.
You want to get fucking free dinner on your birthday.
That was good shit.
We took Dave there the one time.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
But it's fucking expensive. It's not your birthday.
When it's not your birthday, but that ain't your fucking problem is what that is. The problem is they realized that you couldn't get by on people just coming in for free birthday dinners, so they went under.
That's true.
Poor bastards.
Yeah.
Tommy, my brother in Christ.
Did you just call me fucking Tommy?
I did.
Yeah, he did.
What the fuck?
You need to get better with the stars.
I am literally going to reach over
better.
this table and fucking strangle you with this mic.
Tommy, that is not the way to act this time in this holy year of 2024.
Big T Tommy B.
When it's almost Christmas. It is the holiday season, Tommy. I need you to get your shit together.
It's a season of giving, and we're giving you a hard ass time.
You know what it's going to be? The season of roundhouse kicking, because I'm going to roundhouse kick both of you.
If you can pivot your hips that high up to hit my face, go for it, buddy.
You're sitting down right now. I can just stand up and just give you a nice...
Don't do that. You don't get a handicap on kicking me in the face. It's not how any of this works.
What's wrong with Tommy tonight? He just seems very upset.
God.
Just seems very upset.
Shall we get into the movies?
Let's do it.
Yeah, yo. So what do we got cooking tonight?
Well, I think we're canceling Best Matt Worst again because we have quite a few.
We have too many to talk about.
Too many to talk about. So why don't we just talk about some highlights?
Do it.
Tommy.
Oh, jeez.
Can you tell us about Carry On?
Oh, yeah. I want to check this out.
I really wanted to see this movie and you watched it. I wanted to watch it with you the other day and you're like, no, I got to watch it with Melissa. It's a Christmas movie. We can't not watch Christmas movies together. So tell me, Tommy.
Oh my!
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? Was it worth breaking your brother's heart?
So I'm just gonna tell you all right now. Have you guys ever seen Die Hard 2?
Die Harder.
Die Harder, yes.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Die Hard in an airport.
Yeah.
Die Hard in an airport, yeah.
Die Hard, except he never left the airport is really it. Because in Die Hard, he's in the airport briefly.
Yeah.
And then he leaves the airport.
Yeah.
This is Die Hard if you got stuck in the airport.
Yeah. And then don't forget about that little side quest that he goes to at the where was it? It was like off-site, right?
Yeah, but
the
still
house.
Part of the airport.
Yeah. Just watch that.
Or I guess there's the whole scene in the church too. Anyway,
yeah. And then the guy's doing Tai Chi in his hotel room. And
he's naked.
Yeah, he's naked.
Naked Tai Chi.
Yeah, naked Tai Chi, which I also want to do.
Well, you can.
I know
you
I can.
have your own home.
But we're not talking about naked Tai Chi. We're talking about Carry On.
Yeah.
And guys, quick overview if you don't know what Carry On is. Basically, a TSA agent is called by a random stranger, and he is propositioned to let a package go through. And this package is just so happened carrying something that it shouldn't be carrying, and they want to release it somewhere.
Sure.
Is it a MacGuffin? Is it carrying the MacGuffin?
I wouldn't necessarily call it the MacGuffin.
Is it the titular carry-on?
Yeah, there you go. See what you did there. Anyways, the TSA agent is played by Taron Egerton with his worst Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
With his worst American accent.
Not his worst one.
He's so much better in his native tongue.
Yeah.
And he gives so much better performances.
Honestly, didn't even recognize that it was him from the poster.
Exactly.
I was just like, who the fuck is this guy?
And then you got the random stranger who's played by Jason Bateman, and Jason Bateman plays it so well. He is so good at the villain. I would say that was the only good thing about this movie. I was expecting Die Hard in an airport. I got this little cat and mouse thriller thing. Right. He said, she said, he won't do, he will do, like this kind of thing.
More of a thriller, less of an action.
More of a thriller, less of an action movie, which is kind of disappointing considering the director is normally directing a lot more Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies. So I thought there was going to be a little bit more action there. But yeah, this one was kind of a letdown. Christmas movie. Like I said, watch Die Hard more.
And Die Hard 2, Die Harder?
And Die Hard. There you go.
Can I then watch Die Hard 3 with a vengeance?
It's not quite a Christmas movie, so if you want to go down that Christmas road, I would stop at Die Hard with a Vengeance. But Die Hard with a Vengeance is a pretty badass movie, so if you want to watch it, go ahead.
It's my second favorite Die Hard.
Well, yeah.
It's like the middle of summer, though.
It is the middle of summer.
It is. Yeah. Well, it starts with
Jefferson Airport. Yeah.
Jefferson Airport.
Yeah.
Is it Jefferson Airport?
Yeah,
Jefferson Airplane?
Jefferson Airplane.
Jefferson
Airplane.
There you go. Yeah. Airplane, airport.
No, they're very different, Tony. Very, very different. James, you were regaling us beforehand. It's not even Jefferson Airplane. It's the Lovin' Spoonful.
No, well, there you go.
What song are we thinking of? Jefferson Airplane. Is Jefferson
Airport to Jefferson
Don't you
Airplane.
want somebody to love?
There you go.
That's probably it. James, you were regaling us before the offline here about Robert Zemeckis' latest joint, Here.
Sure was.
Can you tell me more about this, his newest masterpiece? Because I hear it's already getting critically reappraised.
Yeah, I'm still been torn. Like I watched it. Really, I watched it today. They were talking about this, and let me start off with what it is. It is a camera locked in one position. That is it. And you were just watching everything that has happened in the entirety of time on that one spot on Earth, let's call it. So if it's a fixed point on Earth, I mean, he goes all the way back to like when dinosaurs were roaming and then an ice age and the camera's still there in that fixed position. And it's all done with these like box cutaways of like a box would appear that's from a different era and you kind of like fill the rest in from that box, and then another one would appear and you fill the rest in. And it just continually happens. And so you're going through different eras from this fixed point in time.
Does it explain why this camera is in a fixed position?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
It's just a window into time.
Okay, so the dinosaurs don't say anything about it being a camera just sitting there looking at them.
You also get through some Native Americans who lived there before there was even a house in this spot. Then you find out the origin story of the house. Fun fact, across the street from Benjamin Franklin's house. Wild. Benjamin Franklin makes a random ass appearance and it's fucking weird.
This is Tom Hanks.
No.
Does he have the kite?
No, but they talk about it. His illegitimate bastard redcoat son talks about his dad out back flying a kite in the storm. So yeah, kinda.
All right.
So fun fact, you're across the street from Ben Franklin's house.
Cool.
And then a new house is built. And then from that point on, you're kind of in 4 different eras.
So before you continue, how far into the film are you?
Ooh. By the time you find out it's Ben Franklin's house or the Native American bit, oof, you are like a good 40 minutes in.
Damn
I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, like you are.
It's a 2-hour movie, right?
Hour and 40 minutes.
Hour and 40 minutes.
Before you understand all the eras, it's about 40 minutes in.
All right.
So he's
There's
making
a lot of setup.
So he's doing his best Terrence Malick, is what you're saying, because it sounds very Tree of Life. Like a suede Tree of Life, because I know like Zemeckis has put out some bangers with a Z.
Yeah.
But Zemeckis is not Terrence Malick.
No, he is not. So you're through these 4 eras. So 4 eras, here we go. Ready?
Right.
First era is a husband and wife, and the husband's like an air pilot, and this is like 1900s. So they buy this house in 1900s for what sounds like a whistle and a song. I think it was, that one you didn't hear how much they paid for it, but they were like the first ones. Next one is Paul Bettany, and the next one is the inventor of the Lazy Boy.
Oh, fun.
In the Roaring 20s.
Cute.
So it's like him and his like flapper wife kind of hanging out in the 20s in this house. Then it's Paul Bettany and his wife, who then births Tom Hanks, and it's the main story thread. So it's the one that lasts the longest. It's a huge chunk of time. They're talking Paul Bettany giving birth to Tom Hanks's character plus his 2 siblings, and then
Paul Bettany gave birth to Tom Hanks.
Yes, Paul Bettany specifically.
Okay.
And then Tom Hanks grows up and marries Robin Wright's character, and they have a family, and it was still within the same house because they don't leave the house.
Is her name Janny?
Yeah. No. And then the 4th one is after that family has left, it's a African American family who buys the house.
Okay.
And they're the sort of like the final owners until you come all the way back around to Tom Hanks at the end. So that is all of the storylines you were tracking as you intercut between all of them throughout the film, mainly staying on the 3rd one, the one I mentioned with Tom Hanks, because it is the biggest chunk, but you do continually go back and forth, and you go back and forth in time as well. You're never moving straight forward, except within the era. So you kind of move forward within the story that you're locked in, but you'll then switch back to the 20s or you switch back to the 1900s, and you find out basically what happened to all of these people in this one spot on Earth, which just so happens to be a living room of a house whose dimensions make no sense because you've locked yourself off to one corner of a house and nothing geometrically makes sense anymore. That's the only way that I can describe this movie. It is fucking wild to watch. I will say it made the CG in terms of the de-aging work really well, because I think having a fixed camera without the camera moving makes doing that a lot easier.
Yeah.
So Tom Hanks and Robin Wright looked pretty good through the de-aging effects that they did. The worst effects were actually the aged up ones, because by the time they're done, they're like, I don't know, 85, 90, something like that. So they made Tom Hanks look even older.
Oh.
And they made Paul Bettany look even older. So those looked.
Was Paul Bettany still a silver fox?
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So those were kind of, but for the most part,
Zemeckis has been fucking with fucking visual effects for the better part of his entire career.
Absolutely.
So
he's always trying to push the envelope.
Absolutely.
If anyone could make it look half decent or make it look like one of the better styles, he's put in all the effort. Like at this point, if he wasn't the one to do it, then you can't do it.
Yeah. Like I think some of the worst stuff was like the weird one-off shot of like when the dinosaurs were roaming that exact spot on Earth was a little bit, that looked bad. For the most part, everything else looked pretty good. Story-wise, it's really hard for me to have a full opinion on it still. Like, okay. a lot of it is convenience, right? Because you're so locked off to this one spot, you can't do anything different. So everything has to revolve around this room in the house, and all your character choices have to happen within this room of this house. And it works, I think, for the most part, but the Tom Hanks storyline is not the most interesting storyline. The Lazy Boy guy is the most interesting one. Like, they're having, like, he's doing a naked photo shoot with his wife on a Lazy Boy to sell the Lazy Boy. It's fucking nuts. You're like, holy shit, like, these guys are just, like, fully inhibited and just having a great time, and they're uninhibited and having a great time. And I want to know more about them, but you spend so little time with them and with the African-American family. You spend the vast majority with Tom Hanks. And it's like,
well, it is Tom Hanks.
Okay, but it's not the most interesting story. So, I don't know. All in all, it's an interesting experiment, I think. It's kind of neat that it happened. I didn't hate it, but I don't think I loved it either. I'm kind of just like, yeah, okay. Like, it's worth a watch if you're interested to see what that kind of looks like. If what I described to you sounds any way remotely intriguing, watch it. But don't expect a lot out of it. Thankfully, it's not more than an hour and 43 minutes, I think it is. So at least it's under 2 hours, but it's you feel it at times because you're also just like, I don't understand the choices that you're making or why you're choosing to jump back to different eras when you do. There's not as much connective through line through some of these.
Okay.
That's fair.
That's where I'm at.
That's fair. I still want to check it out at some point in my life. I just probably won't keep it at the top of the list.
Yeah, maybe not at the top of the list, but if you know, if you're having a quiet one over the holidays and you don't really have much else to watch, throw it on. It centers more around Thanksgiving, so I would say it's more of a Thanksgiving movie.
Oh, Thanksgiving.
Okay. But Christmas does make an appearance quite often, but I wouldn't say it's as focused on Christmas.
So do the Pilgrims show up then?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. The only Thanksgiving you get to watch is the Thanksgiving that Tom Hanks and his God-fearing family have. Nobody else.
I get it.
Also, at one point, a character dies in one of the 4 storylines, and they said it, and the person who said that the character died off screen somewhere was like weeping uncontrollably, and I had to sit there and I was like, who? Who the fuck? Oh, that's who you fucking met? Yeah. This person had 2 lines. I'm supposed to fucking remember them?
Oof.
They weren't that great.
All
so
right.
anyway, it's got weird issues to it because the only story with focus is Tom Hanks' story and everything else is kind of sidelined. But the other stories would be interesting if you got to spend more time in those worlds. So there's a balancing issue, I think.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So would you classify this as a best, Matt, or a worst? I didn't ask Tony.
Meh.
Tony, yours.
Worst.
Ooh.
Well, then I guess it only makes sense that I should talk about a best.
Yes, I think it does.
So I want to talk about September 5th.
Oh, yes.
Which is in limited release right now.
Yes.
And I had to go all the way to the Varsity to see it in Theater 8.
I bet you did.
Oof is right.
Theater 8.
Yes.
Yike.
So the gentleman who does the awards commentary on the Hollywood Reporter for months has been trumpeting that this movie was going to win Best Picture.
Huh.
Not that it was going to be nominated, that it was going to win.
It's coming out and it's winning.
Yes. Everyone told him he was crazy.
Yeah.
And since then, he's kind of backed down on it.
Right.
He doesn't think it's going to win anymore, but he still thinks it's going to be nominated.
Right.
So all of that said,
you went and saw this, and
I went and saw it, and it is excellent.
Huh.
I really enjoyed it. I don't think it's going to win Best Picture, but I do think it's an excellent film. Do you know what it's about?
This is the one that's adjacent to Munich, is it not?
Yes. So it's about the ABC sports team who's covering the 1972 Olympics
in Munich.
In Munich. Yeah. Munich?
Is it Munich?
Germany?
Yeah.
It's in Germany.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's in Munich.
It's the same one. Yeah.
Okay, so it's in Munich. I'm sorry. So they set it up that ABC Sports is like the first time that anyone has been able to show the Olympics live.
Right.
So it's a big deal. They're the only ones that are able to do it. And they have access to satellites. They're working with CBS. They set all this up in the first 5 minutes so you have an idea of the power that they're holding and all the cards that they're able to hold. And then the shift goes off, and then like the night shift picks up, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the night shift picks up, and they're prepping for the next day.
Right.
And they go outside at one point, and they hear gunshots, and they're like, "That's really weird. Was that gunshots?"
Mm-hmm.
And then they continue, and they find out that they were indeed gunshots, and that there's terrorist activity.
Fuck.
Across like 200 yards away.
Yeah.
Because it's in the Olympic Village, and they're basically like across the street.
Huh.
And because they are able to cover it live, they have unparalleled access, and then it becomes a question of, well, this is a huge story. We need to cover this.
Yeah.
And then there's like the fight, like that news should take it type thing. Like, no, sports has it, even though we're not prepared for this. Like, this is our
boots
story.
On the ground. Yeah.
This is our story. And then it becomes a matter of them keeping up with the story, because almost the entire film takes place in the newsroom.
Huh.
Or more specifically in the broadcast room.
Interesting.
Where they have all the TVs and stuff. And then it cuts to different areas where they're where they're prepping different things.
Yeah.
And then like people are coming and going, because they send a team out to the airport at the end.
Yeah.
There's one guy that they keep sending in to record, and he's like disguised as an Olympic athlete.
Huh. Yeah.
And like he gets interviewed on live TV, and he's just like, they're like, "What sport do you play?" He's like, "Wrestling." I'm in a hurry. I gotta go.
Incredible.
So like some of it is kind of dramatized, but a lot of it is just kind of very real. And then they're using the real footage, and they're mixing it with the recreated footage, because they're showing whoever the announcer is in the room. They're showing the live footage of him, but then they're in the room, and like the guy's there, and he's kind of like faded out, so you can't really see it's him.
Sure.
You can't really see it's an actor.
Yeah.
And then there's another one who's on the phone on like across in one of the apartments, and they're he's giving like all the information. All of this to say, as a student of journalism, it's riveting.
Nice.
It's riveting because it's edited very tight, and it's very much almost one location, like I was saying.
Yeah.
And much like Civil War, it tries its best to stay apolitical.
Sure.
And it stays very much like, we're just going to report the news. We're just going to report the news. And they're not getting into the whole fact that it's a Palestinian terrorist group organization that had taken Israeli hostages.
Yeah.
Right. So they try to stay away from that.
Yeah.
But then they keep kind of pivoting into it. So it's
it's hard to ignore.
So it's because it's hard to ignore. So it's kind of, there's a lot of points where there's ethics that are brought up, but it's more of it's more of one of those Q&A things where it's like, I have a statement, not a question type thing, where it's just kind of like, they just throw it there, but then they don't do anything with it.
Interesting.
And there's like this really dark, humorous like I thought it was darkly humorous just because of how fucking like bleak it is at the end, but like if you're not listening, you don't even hear it. Because like these guys are just going for ratings. That's what they're doing. That's what they're doing, but they're trying to like go around that's basically what they're doing. They're like, we're doing the honorable thing, we're reporting on this type thing, but at the same time they want to be on the air the whole time, and they want to be, since they're front and center, they want to stay front and center.
Makes sense.
So the ethics are iffy.
Do you think it would have made it better if they took a side?
I don't know if it took a side, but if they addressed some of the ethical concerns a little more. Like the only time they really address an ethical concern is they're like, do we show someone being executed on TV?
Shit.
Because like they see the gunman come out type thing, and he's holding a gun to someone's head type thing. And they're like, are we going to show somebody get killed? And that's the only time they really address an ethical question.
Yeah.
They bring them all up, but then they don't address them. That's the only time they actually address it.
Yeah.
But it's a riveting experience, and it's really tight. It's like 90 minutes.
Nice.
And it's not so much real time as much as it is like you're in there and you're watching, and then it'll skip ahead. So It's really, really well done. I really enjoyed the editing style of it.
Yeah.
John Magaro is the lead. He's kind of like the new guy who's
of course he is.
Who's control. It's like his big first shot type thing. Apparently this happened. It's the real guy. This happened to the real guy because he was the night shift guy.
Yeah.
Like it was his first real shot.
I just love that they get that guy to be that guy.
Yeah, but I love John Magaro, and I'm hoping that this is like
he's starting to show up more.
I need him to keep going. Yeah. I love this guy.
Yeah.
I love him. So I'm hoping that this is like the key to him kind of like exploding. Peter Sarsgaard is amazing as always.
Of course.
Ben Chaplin's really good in it. And Leonie Benesch. She's German. She's
the girl from Teacher's Lounge.
From
right?
Teacher's Lounge. She's the lead in the Teacher's Lounge. So
damn.
So she's have you seen the Teacher's Lounge?
I've seen the Teacher's Lounge.
Yeah, so she's the lead.
Yeah,
she's the lead girl.
Yeah.
So
I know exactly what you're talking about.
She's the German interpreter.
Oh,
so she's the only one who can. So they're listening to like the police. They're on the police scanner, and they're listening, and she's the only one who can tell them what they're saying.
That's amazing.
Boy. So she's really good in it too. So I'm hoping that she gets a little more recognition because she's incredible.
She's great in Teacher's Lounge.
So I'm hoping that this is like her big moment to get kind of to be more mainstream outside of Germany and Europe. So I would recommend it. It goes wide in January.
Cool.
So if you're able to see it limited now, you should. And if you can't, it goes wide, I believe, on the 17th of January.
Oof. God, fucking late. Damn it.
Yeah, it's pretty late. And then the only other thing I wanted to quickly mention, I just wanted to do a quick hit on this. I want to talk about it more once one of you have seen it, is Nickel Boys, which is in limited release right now in the States. It doesn't come out in Canada until January when it goes wide.
Yeah.
I was able to see it a few weeks ago with friends of the podcast, Avnish.
Nice.
He was not a fan of it at all. I was a little nicer to it, but it's getting a lot of
I'm hearing
as
a lot of
best picture contender. Huh. So I'm waiting for you guys to see it. It's entirely in first person.
Okay.
So the camera kind of shifts who the POV is.
Oh, interesting.
But it's entirely in first person, and then there's like interstitials, and then the camera is very much its own character, and it's about two African-American boys in a school in the 60s. It's like one of those reform schools.
Oh, okay.
So like shit goes down.
Yeah, obviously.
You know where and it kind of like jumps to like the present when they're finding out more of the horrors of what happened in the school type thing, and then back to the past. It jumps around a lot. It's hard to follow. And for people who listen to this podcast, I don't want to actively recommend it because it's hard to follow and it's very avant-garde.
Interesting.
It's one of those movies that Tony is going to jerk off over the mise en scène and the cinematography. He's going to be like, oh my God.
As he's known to. So Tony, bring the cum jar with you.
But the normies and the casual film fans who listen to us.
Yeah.
It is a good film. I don't love it like everyone else does, but I just want to put it out there since we haven't spoken about it.
Fair.
That I do think that it is not an active recommendation on my part.
Okay.
But I will talk about it more in January once Tony sees it, because I know he's going to see it, and I hope you do too, because I would love to have a full conversation.
I never back down from a challenge. You tell me to go see something, I'll go see it.
I look forward to having a full-blown conversation about Nickel Boys.
Yeah. Cool. We can do that. We got this. Dunk.
Hopefully it comes out wide before the 17th.
I believe it does. It's the 24th, isn't it? Or the 23rd?
The Oscar noms are 17th.
Oh, I thought it was the 23rd or the 24th.
I saw 17th.
Okay.
But we'll have to figure
that out. Hopefully September 5th doesn't show up that day, because you're going to be fucked.
Well,
it's gonna be
I thought you have it written down.
Yeah, it's the 17th.
Oh, I thought it was the 23rd. No. I'm almost certain it's the 24th.
Oh, did they change it?
I'm almost certain. I know it's the Friday. I'm almost certain it's the 24th.
If it's the 24th, that'd be really awesome, because I have it in for the 17th.
I'm almost certain it's the 24th.
Interesting, right?
Either way, we can discuss this offline.
Yeah.
I think that it is time to jump into our new segment.
It's screener time. The movie's not even out yet. You cannot watch it. We'll tell you if it's any good. Screener time.
What is there any say?
Screener time, you dope.
Did you not
hear the jingle?
Did you not hear the jingle?
Oh man,
I'm still trying to figure out this Academy Award thing.
Put it down. We'll talk about it after.
Oh my gosh,
Tommy, I want you to tell me.
Oh jeez.
Actually, before you tell me, just wanted to shout out that Chasing Amy is finally on VOD.
Woo! Good for it.
And it is worth your time. We saw it, a year and a half ago, and we still are talking about it. Sav Rogers really put out a banger. It's worth your time. Mr. Tony, werewolves. Sorry, Mr. Tommy, werewolves.
Werewolves is the new film starring Frank Grillo. I dub this movie The Purge meets The Wolfman.
Oh, all right.
So basically, a supermoon has risen.
Not the supermoon.
The supermoon, and it's churned a lot of the population of the world into werewolves.
Inexplicably, or
inexplicably,
were they werewolves before and only triggered on a supermoon? I'm confused.
Supermoon triggered. Everybody turned into werewolves. Shit happened, and then the supermoon went away, and everything went back to normal.
Okay,
but the world didn't go back to normal.
Imagine that.
Was the world a werewolf? Was the earth a werewolf?
No, it wasn't. Oh. So we flash forward to
a jackal.
There was no jackal.
It's a jackal.
Jackal. It's a jackal. I love that joke just keeps coming back.
It's a jackal.
It's a jackal. So we flash forward to a year later. The supermoon's coming again, and the world is preparing.
No.
You got some scientists that are trying to make the cure. Obviously, the supermoon rises and shit hits the fan again, and then there's chaos in the city.
Does everybody become a werewolf, or are some people immune?
Some people are immune.
Okay.
But the people that aren't immune, obviously, they go for the jugular. This movie is directed by some people's favorite B-movie director. His name is Stephen C. Miller. You will know him from such classic Bruce Willis classics.
Oh, I see.
As Marauders, First Kill,
sure,
Arsenal. That one is with Nicolas Cage. And Escape Plan 2.
Oh, not Escape Plan 1 though. Just Escape Plan 2. Cool.
Is that the one with Batista?
Yes.
Nice.
And
this one. I know Dave was like was really fucking hard up on this movie. If he just fucking told me who the director was, I could assure him that the movie wasn't gonna be any good. Because I've seen Arsenal, boys, and guess what? It is not top tier Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage is top tier, but the movie sure as shit ain't.
Yeah.
This movie, Frank Grillo is, you know what? He delivers what Frank Grillo delivers. There's a lot of blood. There's a lot of action.
Sure.
Frank Grillo's fucking mowing down werewolves. That's really all I got to really say about it. It's like
James is falling asleep already.
James is falling asleep already. So
I'm not interested.
It is what it is. If you want a little B movie to throw on at midnight, you're high as fuck, you want to see some bitches get fucked up, go ahead and watch it.
Right.
I don't suggest that this is a first watch.
No.
But it did deliver some entertainment. I when I saw the trailer, I thought Werewolves in the Purge, and it's pretty much Werewolves in the Purge.
Yeah, I think I would just nuke the world.
Yeah,
if that many people turn into werewolves, just end it.
Yeah,
let's just restart again.
There's like this little side plot with like a family, and it's Frank Grillo's family, obviously. Sure. So like that, obviously, right? But like the main meat and potatoes is the world just turns into zombies over this fucking Superman.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So that one's in theaters right now.
Yes.
Yeah. That'll be on VOD soon, though, I assume.
I feel like it would do
tomorrow, hopefully.
Yeah, fingers crossed. I feel like it will do better on VOD.
Yeah,
it's definitely a VOD release. I wouldn't see it in the theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you good?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So kind of you.
I'm going to talk now about The Girl with the Needle. which was
this is Denmark's pick for
international feature film, and it is on the short list.
Perfect.
So Mubi released it in limited release a few weeks ago.
Way to go, Mubi!
And it'll probably be on VOD next month, I believe, because Bird is coming out next week on VOD.
Nice.
So the director of this film is Magnus von Horn.
Uh-huh.
And it is in black and white, very stark black and white.
Nice.
And it is after World War One.
Mm.
And, well, they're all trying to just come back from it. They're just trying to figure their things out.
Okay.
And this young woman named Caroline gets pregnant. And she doesn't, the guy, her husband is horribly disfigured by the war. So her baby daddy is someone else.
Oh, no.
Okay.
And he's no longer in the picture at one point. So she has to seek out another woman to help with the baby after it's delivered.
Okay.
And then she ends up working with this woman who finds new families for unwanted babies.
Okay.
Apparently this is based on a true story. And I'm just going to say that it's not that simple.
Okay.
So it goes to some places that you might not like and you might not want to come back from.
Okay. Okay.
Fair.
You're really selling me on this movie, Dave.
It scarred me, Tony.
Okay.
Jesus.
It scarred me. It's
is it like a drama? Is it like an epic? Like what is it, like a war movie, like a war drama?
I would say it's a gothic drama horror.
Oh,
gothic drama horror. Okay, so now you got me. You got me by the balls right now. We're in a whole different. We're in a whole different world now.
We're in a whole different fucking sport.
Yeah.
I'm trying not to give away too much because I knew like literally nothing.
I thought for the longest time I thought it was like a wartime drama. This gothic horror that you bring up.
It is a wartime drama.
Yeah. Or is it just it has like horror elements to it, like horrific imaging, like that kind of thing. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So what comes with your standard war movie?
Yeah, post-war. And it's another one that Tony would enjoy for cinematography reasons.
Right.
Dude, I just love cameras and I love what you can fucking do with them. The lensing,
it looks very, very good.
Amazing.
And I enjoyed it.
Nice.
I don't think I'll ever watch it again.
Okay, so this is like a zone of interest kind of thing. It's like a one and like put it away.
I think I would watch this again before I go back to zone of interest.
Okay, high praise.
That's something. That's saying something.
This is saying something.
But it is a lot. It is a lot. And I want to give shout outs to the two women, Vic Carmenson and is that her name? I just want to make sure that I have the right names. Yes, Vic Carmenson, who plays Caroline with a K, and Dagmar, who is played by Trine Deerholm. They are both incredible in this film.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
And they both get many opportunities to shine. And yeah, I'm trying not to give it all away.
No, don't give it away. You got my attention for sure. I'll be
it's a lot. It's not the feel good movie of the season.
I wasn't looking for the feel good movie of the season.
It sounds bleak.
Yeah,
it's bleak.
That sounds super bleak.
It's bleak. So limited release right now. We'll be on streaming on Mubi very soon.
Nice.
Sweet.
Hopefully before the Oscar announcements.
We hope.
Fingers crossed.
We hope. James.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about Paul Schrader's O Canada.
Yeah.
Which is in limited release now, I believe, out of Kino Lorber.
It is out of Kino Lorber, our trusty friends at Kino Lorber.
Yes.
Paul Schrader's new film.
Hopefully we can keep that relationship going.
Oh, absolutely.
I was going to say our new friends at Kino Lorber.
Yes, absolutely.
Before you continue, I just wanted to mention O Canada was at TIFF, as was Girl with the Needle.
Yes, you were gonna see O Canada, and then
Canada was on the short list. And I made a quick switch.
Yeah. I couldn't make O Canada work, but I had wanted to see it.
It had really bad screening times.
Really
part
horrendous.
Of its problem. It was like right at the beginning of the festival and like right at the end of the festival, and nothing in between.
And I think it was like literally like one of those early things. So you got to get it at like 8:45, 9 a.m. Like
it was a bad one.
It was on against your boy Cronenberg. That's what it was.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we know why Tony didn't see it.
And now we know why. So it stars Richard Gere, and I'm blanking right now.
Jacob Elordi, Uma Thurman,
Michael
Imperioli. That's who I was thinking in my head. Christopher. Anyway, so it stars them, Richard Gere being the main subject of an interview that two of his former students are putting together, and they're interviewing Richard Gere's character about his whole life. He was a war deserter who fled to Canada and lived the rest of his life in Canada and became a documentary filmmaker. And it's essentially like a really sort of stark watch. You're following along in this man's life, younger self played by Jacob Elordi, and sort of his life while he lived in the States and partially while he lived in Canada, but mainly focused on his US time.
And it jumps back and forth.
And it cuts back and forth through the present. And in the present, he is a dying man as well. He's got like cancer and is going to pass dementia and but like he's circling the drain.
So this thing's like basically like his last will and testament.
That's how he's treating it. Like this is, he says multiple times, it's like his last chance to tell the truth.
Yeah.
But what is truth when you're dealing with a sort of sick adult mind who's not all the way there?
So unreliable narrator
to the fullest.
Probably the most unreliable narrator I've seen in quite some time.
Yeah.
All right.
Everything is kind of cross-bled. Things don't quite line up to the point where when it sometimes cuts back to the present, it's like, wait, so you did this, but you were doing this at the same, like there was contradictory evidence to a lot of what he was saying, even though he was claiming that this was the truth, the full truth, and nothing but the truth.
And then he starts imagining himself instead of Jacob Elordi.
Yeah, and in one scene, it's icky.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because he is lying beside and, you know, starting to get a little familiar with a woman who is like, hopefully 20.
Hopefully, you say.
Yeah.
Radio.
Yeah, it's like, this is Richard Gere, and Richard Gere is like aged up, I think, further than what he actually is, but it's just like this. This don't feel right.
he doesn't look as sick adult
correct.
When he's remembering himself instead of Jacob Elordi.
He's remembering a version of himself that isn't sick.
Yes.
But still old.
Yes.
Fair.
So it's anyway, so that's basically essentially what the movie's doing the entire time. You're going through this man's life as a, like, who he was as a person growing up, how he came to Canada, how he became a documentary filmmaker, although that kind of ends up being, I'd say, almost secondary to just the women in his lives, essentially. Yeah. And that's it. Like, you're just really following this man's like illustrious love life of multiple women overlapping at the same time, cheating on every one of them with other ones, and having...
Oh, and his son is part of it too.
Having children. Yeah, it's something. I don't know that I loved this movie.
I certainly didn't.
I've seen paint dry on walls that is more exciting.
Okay.
Well, it was more exciting than The Return.
It was more exciting than The Return. This is true. I wasn't as bored. The Return took me out and I was like, I don't give a shit about this movie. This one held my interest only because it was just trying to piece things together, like what the fuck the point was by the end of it. And especially by the end of it, it was like, you know, you said this man was the thing, but like he literally just talked about like this one brief window of time in his life, and then everything else was like yada yada. Oh yeah, like I ended up on a farm in Canada, and then I just happened to film them testing Agent Orange, and then I just became an illustrious, successful documentary filmmaker. End of story, and that's it.
It's very fragmented and it's very all over the place because it's trying to fit.
No focus.
There's no focus, but it's trying to fit the narrative of him having dementia and not remembering things properly and being an unreliable narrator. So it's hard to follow.
Yeah.
because it keeps cutting around.
Which then you could say it's intentionally hard to follow. But to that I say, well, then why would I want to watch it?
Yes.
So, Dave, I know that you've seen Schrader's last 3.
I have, yes.
At least 3 big ones, because I'm looking at his IMDb page right now, and there's a couple in the middle that are not
First
as well known.
Reformed, Card Counter, and
Master Gardener.
Master Gardener, yes.
So I have also seen all 3 of those movies.
Yeah.
How does Oh Canada compare to the 3 of those?
I'd put it on the same level, maybe a bit above Master Gardener. I'd say Master Gardener's the my least favorite of that group, but it is not First Reformed.
Many things aren't. I still can't get on board with First Reform. I don't know why everyone else is on board with First Reform.
It's a banger.
Is it a banger though?
It's a banger. But Oh Canada, I admire it, and I admire the style because he plays with the frame quite a bit.
Okay.
And the different eras are different
aspect ratios,
and different filming styles.
Yeah. Okay. Does a letterbox show up, like a little like square box in the middle?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And I think the interview technique that they're kind of going with is very interesting.
Yeah.
So he's trying to do something different.
Yeah.
But is it still that classic like Schrader narrative that he's known for?
Yes. It's very much a Schrader film.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But Richard Gere is very good.
Okay. I would say so, yep.
And Jacob Elordi is great too.
Is great.
Nice.
I wanted a bit more from Michael Imperioli. Just because
he's kind of sidelined to the back.
He's sidelined, but there's things that are happening with his character.
Yeah.
That should be more important.
Yeah. Yeah. Revelations are brought to light and you're just like, you don't do anything with them. You just know about them, I guess.
Yeah. And Uma's
fine. She's just
Uma's just being Uma.
Yeah, it's very much the Richard Gere, Jacob Elordi show. I think it's another
Well, that's how the trailer paints it. So
it's another great example of why Jacob Elordi is a rising star.
Yeah.
Because he kind of he tries to do like a Richard Gere inflection.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like he's trying his best. He's trying his best to act like Richard Gere.
Yeah.
And how Richard Gere would have been
possibly done the scene,
or how you remember Richard Gere from years past, like American Gigolo, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say
that's the last time he did a movie with Schrader was American Gigolo.
Yeah.
So he's trying to embody the swag and the riz of Richard Gere from back in the day, and I think he does a pretty good job.
Agreed.
And his inflection is pretty good. Like when they're talking back and forth, you can tell you're like, that sounds like a younger Richard Gere.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's another great Elordi film, and I think it's another great film for Richard Gere as a showcase for how underrated an actor Richard Gere is.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's always been a great actor, but he's underrated as fuck. But as a narrative,
it's
a mess.
mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess.
It's a mess on purpose.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
it's a mess on purpose, but to what I said earlier, then why?
Yeah. So it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to kind of get behind it. I admire the swing.
Yep.
But
overall,
I wasn't in love with
it. I didn't love it.
That's too bad.
I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I certainly, like, as I said, like it kept my gaze, at least, because it was so confusing.
Yeah.
And like you're trying to piece things together on your own because you kind of have to. But it doesn't make it a fun watching experience because of that. It just kind of makes it a little bit tedious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the last one for screener time that I want to talk about is a little more uplifting. I know we've been talking about a lot of not so uplifting films.
Yeah.
So this one's a little more uplifting, and it's Wallace and Gromit: Vengeance Most Foul.
Ooh, fun!
Yes,
the new Wallace and Gromit.
Love
film.
me some Wallace and Gromit.
I've been waiting for new Wallace and Gromit.
So
I fucking adore this animated.
So this is in limited release now, and it's going to be on Netflix at the beginning of January. I believe it's the 2nd or the 3rd. It will be on Netflix.
Nice.
And it's very much a Wallace and Gromit film. They have. If you guys remember, Feathers McGraw, the penguin.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's in jail.
Oh no.
It's mainly, well, it's actually just like he's like in the penguin enclosure at the zoo.
Sure.
And he swears revenge. And Wallace has come up with this new gardening gnome thing that does all of your gardening.
Huh.
And like does all of your the chores.
Nice.
I think it's a gnome. And Feathers wants to swear revenge, so he hacks in to the gardening gnome, the gnome bot, or no bot. No bot is what it's called.
What the fuck?
And hijinks ensue because Feathers wants the diamond he stole that they took that they kind of got him arrested for, and he wants it back.
Well, of course.
So this no bot, things happen, and Wallace and Gromit have to figure it out, or mostly Gromit.
Gromit, obviously.
Wallace is classically clueless.
Yeah, of course.
Same voice acting.
It's a new guy who's doing Wallace because the gentleman who played Wallace back in the day is no longer with us.
Oh, that's too bad.
But this guy has done Wallace since 2000, since Were Rabbit.
Since Were Rabbit, okay.
Yeah, so his name's Ben Whitehead.
Okay.
Like he's like you can't tell the difference.
You can't tell. Yeah,
if you watch the old stuff, you can't tell the difference. He's still he's doing the voice, but it's not the original guy because that guy has passed away.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say I know Were Rabbit like the back of my hand. I've seen that movie so many times. It's such a classic.
Well, I watched it with Quinny the other day, and he was enamored by it. He loved it.
It's fucking great.
He loved it.
Yeah.
All of this to say, this one's fine.
Yeah.
After all this time, I kind of wanted a bit more because Were Rabbit's from like 2005.
Yeah.
And it's 2024 now. Like I wanted a bit more from the story.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
But it's still the same. It's still charming.
Yeah.
It's still fun.
Still delivers that nostalgia.
Still
Wallace
delivers
and Gromit.
the nostalgia. It's still a good time to watch.
Yeah.
It's like his voice still lulls me to sleep because that's just what Wallace's voice does to me.
Of course.
There's still like the dry British humor.
Yeah.
But it's not as exciting as Were Rabbit. When I was watching Were Rabbit, I was like, this is exciting.
Yeah.
This is something different than the shorts. This is just more of the shorts kind of extended.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's still a fun time. You're still getting a good time.
Yeah.
It's not Were Rabbit.
Yeah. How's the animation?
The animation is still really good, really well done. They use a little bit more CG.
Okay.
But the way they're able to blend things with the clay and the backgrounds and stuff, like you can see how progressed they have gotten since Were Rabbit looks a little like rough around the edges. This looks a lot more slick. Like I think what's Memoir of a Snail?
Yeah.
Was another one we watched that was clay, and that one's a little more is not as slick as this one. This one seems very polished.
Yeah.
But they've been doing it for they invented the fucking sport, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Like Adam Elliott's he's great and all of his work is done is amazing. But like Wallace and like Nick Park, like Aardman invented the fucking sport. So obviously their stuff is going to look the most stylish and sleek.
Of course. Of course.
So it's still a fun watch. I would still watch it. It's going to get nominated for Best Animated Feature.
Well, of course.
Because it's
sacrilege not to nominate
certainly
them.
Better than fucking Moana 2, let me tell you. But yeah, I wanted a bit more from it.
That's fair.
But when you have something as good as Wallace and Gromit and something that you put on the pedestal, like you obviously have higher expectations of it.
Of course.
And just getting something that was good and fun is still better than any number of animated films.
Yeah.
So, but I think that's Screener Time wrapped up.
Cool.
Mr. Tony, do you think you can give us a quick Shudder minute?
I could totally do it.
All right. I'm going to say quiet for this one.
Evil lurking deep inside, its darkness knows no limit. So listen closely if you dare. This is the Shudder Minute.
What do you got, buddy?
Okay, so last Shudder Minute of the year. I decided to go back into the well. This one was a big release for them in October. I finally watched the new entry from the VHS series. I saw VHS Beyond.
Ooh, spooky.
Justin Long has a movie in this one.
Hey, cool.
It is fucking weird.
Is he the director or the actor?
He doesn't act in this one. His brother, I'm fairly certain his brother acts in this one, but it's written and directed by him and his brother. Yeah.
Nice.
Is his brother as much of a scream queen as he is?
No. Anyways, this one's centered. These ones are basically centered around alien kind of shorts and stuff. I haven't seen all of the VHSs. I've only seen some of the ones that put out on Shudder. I think I've seen 85 and 99. This one is definitely better than those two. Standout shorts were Stork. Stork features a fucking chainsaw cam. They basically mount a GoPro to the chainsaw while it's like ripping into the person. That was fucking cool. Another one was Live and Let Dive. That one was basically they are going what's the thing that you do? Parachuting. Like skydiving. So they're basically skydiving, but UFO intercepts their plane and then they crash. And then
you make it sound like he's going on the weekends.
I know, right?
The thing I do, you know,
the thing you do.
Yeah.
That one features some very, very good creature creations. I really like that one. And then the other one was Fur Babies, the one that Justin Long did. That one is certifiably fucked up. That one featured a dog cam, but the dog was actually like a mutated dog of a form of a person. That one goes into some wild things. Very surprised to see it come from Justin Long, but I'm also not surprised to see it come from Justin Long. And then Mike Flanagan and Katie Siegel also have one too. That one was the one that closed it out. That one was a little bit weaker. I didn't like that one. She directed that one, right? She directed it. He wrote it.
Nice.
But I would say my favorite would be Live and Let Dive.
Worth watching.
Worth watching. Yeah. It's still, you're still going in price of admission. It's a found footage kind of thing. If you like VHS, the VHS franchise, it seems like Shudder's really putting their money behind VHS and getting new and up and coming directors to start doing some more weird and wacky shit. This one's one of the better ones for sure.
Neat. That was a pretty good Shudder minute.
That was pretty solid. Yeah.
Well done, buddy.
You're welcome.
Well done.
Well done. The Getaway, was that what the Nick Frost one that you just covered last time?
I think it was just called Getaway.
Yeah, that's why I said Getaway.
Yeah.
Not the Getaway.
No, sorry, not the Getaway.
Getaway.
No, you're still saying it wrong. Get away, not getaway. It's not one word. It's two words.
Get away.
There you go.
That is hitting Shudder in January.
Cool.
Fantastic.
Yes. So now that we put Screener Time to bed and we put the Shudder Minute to bed, I think it's time to do our alien idiot, our Aaron Taylor Johnson double bill.
Oh, fuck yes.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And we're going to start with Kraven the Hunter.
Sure.
Which is the final movie in the Sony Spider-Man universe.
Extended universe
thing. Yes. So that has been put to bed now.
Thank Christ.
This
Probably
is
for the best.
The last film in that franchise.
The nail in that coffin.
That featured Morbius, Madame Web, and the 3 Venom films.
Yes. Such hits as Morbius.
Such banger pictures as. And this film was filmed in 2022. It was delayed since 2023. It has gone through multiple delays. It's their first R-rated one.
Sure.
R-rated picture.
Good for them.
And it centers around the titular Kraven the Hunter. And it's his origin story, basically. And is there anything really else to say? Can we just put this to bed? That's it?
That's it.
All right, Aaron, you did. You're done.
Cool. Thanks, buddy.
So I can tell James hated the hell out of this movie.
Honestly, I got to the movie and I, do my little routine, and then I get a little text from James being like, "Yo, you in Kraven?" And I was just like, I was hoping I was gonna get this text. I was like, "Yo, boy, where are you?" And he was on literally the other side of the theater. So
he couldn't quite see me. He was like, "Yellow hat." I was like, "That's me."
Yeah. See, so that is the second time I've run into James in the movie without expecting it. So I was going in expecting that I was absolutely gonna hate it, and I had a fucking blast. Only because I was laughing at Kraven the Hunter, but I was also laughing at our good buddy James and his facial expressions during the entire film.
Yeah. My favorite part about the movie was the fact that Tony sat beside me.
You guys are... I wish I got to see it with someone, because I watched it after I saw September 5th, and I had to drive across the city to see it because they were not playing Kraven the Hunter at the varsity.
The varsity is too good for
I can't imagine why the varsity wouldn't be playing Kraven the Hunter.
Good for them.
So I got there, and I got there so late that you couldn't buy a ticket on the Cineplex on the app.
Oh god!
You had to like go up to a
So I had to
person.
go up to the booth and buy the
shit.
ticket. And by the time I went to the bathroom, I came in, and it was like 20-25 minutes late.
Yeah.
And the credits had just started.
Oh
yeah, you're fine.
So like, you know how the opening scene is on
it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
So you know how it's like the prison van.
Yeah,
I do know
driving
that.
up to like the gas station.
Yeah.
I walked in at that moment.
Oh, okay.
So I missed literally like 10 seconds of the film.
Yeah,
and I came in like 25 minutes late.
Yes.
So
Cineplex is egregious.
Egregious, guys.
Yeah.
That's super
That's
egregious.
annoying.
It's gotten bad. Our film start time was at like 7:10, but by the
7:10.
time that we got out, I was like, how fucking long was this movie?
Yeah.
Not realizing that Cineplex is front loading so much bullshit.
So there's a lot, yes. But to Tony telling me that the AVX at the Queensway Cinema was magnificent, you are right, sir.
I fucking told you.
That was a gorgeous screen.
The screen is literally eating you. I fucking love it.
That is a good screen. I don't want to give. I can't give props to Cineplex for a hell of a lot, but I will give them props for that.
Nice,
very good screen. So Tony he was entertaining. You guys were entertaining each other.
Yep.
I was just kind of like seeping into my seat.
Yeah.
Just kind of like,
Okay.
I don't hate this, but all right, cool.
When Craven's being Craven, movie's aces. When it stops to do like any sort of talking, just chuck it in the bin.
I don't even know if that, because there's times where you remember that fucking, like, I think, I don't know that I could have rolled my eyes the hardest, but every time the screen went into Kraven Vision,
Kraven Vision,
I wanted to take my eyeballs out with a rusty spoon. I'm like, are you fucking kidding? Like, there's a cigarette on the ground. What? Zoom in. What are you doing?
I love it. I loved it. Loved every minute of it.
I don't know. I wanted to be entertained, and I just wasn't.
I also don't think it's a horrible film. In fact, I went in thinking it was going to be Morbius, and I got something that was
it's not
mildly, vaguely entertaining.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest with you, I'm glad that you brought up Morbius, because I wanted to watch Morbius before this podcast.
Why would you do that?
Unfortunately, for unseen,
do you hate yourself?
Man, it's me. I can watch. I can sit through a film.
Are you a masochist?
Again, due to unforeseen circumstances, I could not watch that movie before that, because all through Kraven, I was trying to figure. I was like, this can't be as bad as Morbius. It's definitely not as bad as Madame Web. Madame Web is in its own category. Yeah. And you know what? I wasn't even as pissed off as I was leaving like Venom. Like, I'm pretty sure like I had a temper tantrum going down, down the thing. I was fucking pissed at Venom.
You were mad.
But I wasn't quite as pissed as at Kraven. I tried really fucking hard to enjoy this movie. I tried so hard.
I forgot to mention that it's as much of an origin story for him as it is for his jacket, his vest.
Yeah, the vest. The origin story for the vest.
Like, this isn't much of a spoiler, but the scene in the trailer and in all the TV spots where he's doing the Kraven thing with the vest, that's the last scene in the movie.
It's the last shot of the movie.
That's the last shot of the movie.
Like, I don't know, man.
I think it's messy, but I don't think it's badly acted. I think Russell Crowe is great in this.
Oh yeah,
I don't love
great.
Russell Crowe as an actor, but I think he's great in this, and he's the only one who has an accent that's consistent.
Yeah.
I
like Aaron Taylor Johnson is acting his heart out, but his accent is not consistent.
And the script is not helping him.
And the script is not helping.
You notice when Aaron Taylor Johnson's speaking Russian, he has the Russian accent, right?
Yeah.
But when he's speaking English, there's no accent.
There's nothing.
I'm like,
it's the blandest thing in the world. And also, they wasted Ariana DeBose.
I was gonna say she did not do the thing.
No.
I don't know how you continue to waste this girl. Like, she's so great in West Side Story. She won the Oscar, and ever since then, she's just done shit. Shit.
Yeah. and you know what? Like, another thing I noticed too was, like, especially with her lines. Now, this was nowhere near as bad as the ADR was in Madame Web. Madame Web has some of the most egregious ADR I've ever seen in my life.
It's probably the worst ADR I've ever seen.
It's an old Hong Kong action Chinese English dub, but levels of bad.
It's worse than that, James. It's
this
embarrassing.
Movie, though, this movie had some pretty bad ADR, and it was all around her.
Oh, dude, the ADR in this movie was borderline offensive.
It felt disjointed. Even though I wasn't seeing, at least we weren't seeing their mouth move differently. No,
James, there was the one part where it was a zoom out, right? Yeah. And like the lips were like flapping, but like I was like,
no one's saying shit.
Like, is it sped up? Like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, come on.
Yeah,
this is film school 101.
I think I would have liked this movie better if the CGI wasn't dog shit. Yeah. It's awful.
Oh, man.
Like, I don't want to hold it against the visual effects artists because I'm sure they were overworked and underpaid, but it feels like they did not refine, and they had all this time to fix this movie and adjust it, and they did not let them take the time to fix it.
Especially when he's climbing, like it looks like a bad PS3.
Climbing looks like dog shit. Yeah. And there was the worst scene I've ever seen in a movie this year. The worst visual effects scene was a simple shot. It was when what's his nuts fucking 1-2-3 man over there fucking he shows up.
So we're gonna put a pin in that guy.
He's in Russia.
I love Chris Abbott.
I do too. He's in Russia and he does his little 1-2-3 thing, and before he leaves, like, the camera pans and it's kind of a weird like Dutch angle shot of the alley that he's like investigating Kraven in, and it's like all snowy, but it looks so bad. Like the Russian soldier that's standing there and is all
he
looks pasted. It like none of it looks real. It looks so bad. Like it looks like MS Paint, like dragged and copy pasted like a 2D image. Like it's
they probably did it on the fucking wall. They probably did it on the fucking wall and did not like I fucking hate that goddamn thing.
We know. I'm sure the listeners can take a shot every time you mention how much you hate the wall.
It was the worst looking thing I had seen, and I was like, I don't want to shit all over VFX artists because I know they are overworked and underpaid, but at the same time, from a studio's perspective, what the fuck are you doing?
I just don't think that they put any extra money into it.
No.
They were like, this is it. We're good.
Well, fucking what's his nuts? Tony's fucking gay lover,
Alessandro Noel.
Thank you. Becomes a rhino like off screen. He just is the rhino now,
they didn't have the budget for that.
No. They barely had the budget for his skin. He had to wear a shirt for most of it.
I thought when he was doing the rhino skin thing, I thought that looked pretty good.
Yeah.
I thought that actually looked like they put the money into it.
Hand,
like when he suddenly chest. When he was suddenly the rhino, which if you've had any time on social media in the last few days, you've probably seen what he looks like.
Yeah.
Not so good.
Nope.
Not so good.
Nope. Better than fucking Paul Giamatti and whatever the fuck.
Paul Giamatti's untouchable. You want your mouth.
I said his.
You keep Paul Giamatti's name out of your fucking mouth.
Paul Giamatti is unharmed. His rhino suit, dog shit.
Okay, fine.
Giamatti.
You keep Paul
was he did what was asked of him, and he understood the assignment.
He did.
The piece of mecha, whatever the fuck you want to call it, that he came in, not so good.
Yeah, not so good.
But I like that you brought up what's his name? Chris Abbott?
Christopher Abbott, yeah.
You're gonna tell me that this fucking shrimp piece of shit guy is supposed to take on Kraven the Hunter? Give me a break.
1, 2, 3, Tom.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Give me when he showed up. I was like, really? That's the best. That's what's the best you got.
4 MI6 level fucking take me out darts.
Yeah, literally.
So,
like
they had to nerf. They had to nerf Kraven.
I thought he was decent in the film.
No, he was the least believable character.
I thought he was decent in it.
I didn't understand any of his origin points, but I liked his acting at least.
I disagree. Strongly disagree. You know who I did like though?
Alessandro Nivola.
No, I really
he did. He had a chubby, but that's fine.
When he showed up on screen, I was like, there he is.
His accent is not so
it's
good.
Just
it's
so
a
bad.
mess.
When he had that little like emo like comb over
little
thing,
hair,
like,
yeah,
what
yeah.
the fuck?
The past, like past Alessandro Nivola.
Past Alessandro Nivola. What's his name? He was in Gladiator as well.
Fred Hikinger.
Yeah,
I don't know how to say his name. If James can figure out how to say his name properly, I would love that.
He was great. I liked him a lot, and I liked his relationship with Kraven. Not as him as kids. I like that whole like 15-minute, 20-minute bit of them when they were kids. Just get rid of it. I don't need to know. I don't need to know that a lion ate him half his arm, and then all of a sudden like blood got into his thing, and it's like, oh, it's still cold. It's still cold.
Yeah.
I literally, Dave, I shit you not, I literally said that out loud in the theater when that scene came.
Still cold.
Still cold.
Hikinger is what I would do.
Hikinger. Yes. I thought he was pretty good. He's a good supporting actor.
He's
Yeah.
doing a little
quite
shit
well.
weasel.
He's doing very well for himself.
Yeah.
I think they underutilized him.
Definitely.
And they did him dirty in this.
Yeah.
Because where his character goes, you're just kind of like, yeah, right.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess.
I like the little.
At the end,
I
it
like
just
the
felt
little
like-
Easter. I like the little Easter egg, but
We're
like
just throwing spaghetti at the wall at this point. Like,
that's-
what is the point of doing any of this?
I only like the Easter egg because I love the Spider-Man universe.
That's fair.
right?
The little treat. I like Aaron Taylor Johnson acts his heart out. He sells you on this dog shit.
Yeah.
It's just, and Russell Crowe is fucking Russell Crowing, and he has so much gravitas, and he's so fucking good, and he's above this.
Yeah.
Like he's not having the hammy fun he had in Thor, but you can tell he's above this, and he's like, you know what? I'm getting the paycheck. I'm just gonna do my thing, and he does it.
Yeah,
and he's great.
Mm-hmm.
And Aaron Taylor Johnson, compelling lead. It's just everything around them fails them. Fails them, and it's not their fault.
No, it's not.
It's literally
the rest of it.
It's literally the whole enterprise. Everyone is trying in some capacity, but it's all falling apart around them.
Yeah.
And somebody did not, like JC Chandor. Is that his name? JC Chandor? Yeah. Like he's put out some great films.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we can't blame his directing for this.
No.
But it definitely feels like if you had extra time that you delayed this movie enough times, it shouldn't look like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It should look a lot better than this. And it's
being the end of this sort of universe that they tried to build and failed miserably. It's kind of hard to watch it too, because you're just like, who fucking cares? Like towards the end, you're setting up all these fucking people. I don't give a fuck. Like it doesn't matter.
It's just a movie that doesn't need to exist.
It doesn't.
No, there's no reason.
There's no reason for this movie to exist. I'd love if he keeps playing Kraven.
That's what I was literally about to say. I hope
Somewhere.
they keep Kraven around and have him there. That'd be awesome.
Like he's pretty solid as Kraven. He's a lot better as Kraven than he was at fucking Quicksilver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's not much of a bar to clear though.
But his accent's about the same.
Yes, that is true. That is.
I'll give you that.
I would like to point out my favorite line of the entire film that is never going to leave my head, but in the year of our Lord 2024, someone, or I guess in 2021, someone decided to pen the line, "She died shortly thereafter, and I never saw her again." What the fuck?
You could literally like feel James scoff at that line.
What is that line?
Like his soul left his body for a second.
Are you fucking kidding me? This is a multi-million-dollar movie, and that's the shit that you wrote into this fucking thing? She died shortly thereafter, and I never saw her again. How the fuck do you think death works? Is this the first time? Are you new at this? Did you think that is there a realm of reality where she died and then you did see her again? In the wind? In the colors of the wind? What the fuck, man? Fuck. A piece of shit. And of course they gave it to fucking Ariana DeBose. Fucking assholes. Anyway.
Tell me how you really feel.
Fuck this movie.
The buffalo looked terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he fights that jaguar or lion or tiger thing,
I was
so
literally
bad.
on the floor. I was like, really, man? He's going to fight a jaguar?
It's, again, I don't want to shit on the effects artists, but it's so distractingly bad. It's so distractingly bad.
It's super terrible. And you bring up the director. I'm thinking, is it really the director or is it Sony? Because like I don't think this didn't seem like his kind of movie. It seemed like he was just a gun for hire and he's just delivering what Sony asked him to do.
That's fair.
Right?
That's fair.
Because like Sony's never really known what to do with this whole universe. They had no plan, right? And now you see the stuff coming out on X that, Marvel didn't keep them from using Spider-Man in any of these movies. So at one point where you're like, okay, well, if you made these movies so that you could capitalize on the universe because Marvel had Spider-Man. Now you're hearing that Marvel didn't necessarily have Spider-Man, that they could still bring him into this universe. Like, why the fuck didn't you then? Why didn't you just pivot this whole thing and make this more like coherent instead of just being this hodgepodge of like throwing spaghetti at the wall and being like, oh fuck, we did so well with Venom. What else can we fucking do?
And like the only Spider-Man references you're allowed to make are weird fucking dream sequences, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, like when he sees the spiders in the Amazon?
Oh, yeah, I saw. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
I thought that was more of a Madame Web reference than a
No,
Spider-Man
that
reference.
was a Spider-Man reference.
I know, but I feel like it was more of a
But
Madame
even like
Web
Madame
one.
Web, the only Spider-Man references you get are them in their own kind of costumes, kind of Spider-Man. Or like everything has to be. Oh fuck! I
just just because you have these characters, you don't need to use them. Like Venom, I will give you Venom.
Yeah, you can have Venom.
Venom makes sense as a character. If you're going to make a movie, it makes sense to make a Venom movie.
Yeah.
It does not make sense to make a Morbius movie or a Madame Web movie.
definitely not.
And I'm glad they're not doing that the Mexican wrestler one with
Bad Bunny.
with Bad Bunny. I'm glad they
Jesus.
decided not to do that, because that was certainly a choice when that got announced. But again, why does this movie exist?
Mm-hmm.
It's just money that was just thrown at something, and it doesn't work.
No,
it doesn't work. And you feel sorry for everybody on screen. Like, I'm glad people got paid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad people got paid. I'm glad that Aaron Taylor Johnson continues his rise. I hope he doesn't become Bond, but I'm glad that he's still a thing. I don't know who Ariana DeBose pissed off to just
constantly be side-loaded into shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, at least Adrian Brody figured it out. We need Ariana to figure it out. I hope she's really good in, what is it, Love Hurts?
Yeah.
I think she'll be good in that. I hope she's good in that.
Yeah.
She's not a bad actress. She just
She's
keeps getting
not.
saddled with shit.
She's her role. I don't know. Maybe she needs a new agent.
Yeah, I was gonna say it sounds like an agent problem here.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to fire that person. We need.
Yeah. You need better representation.
She just needs to
Ariana.
come into the boardroom and just slam the Oscar down and just be like, "Come on,
Yeah.
come on."
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, I don't have anything else to say about Kraven the Hunter other than it's not good. I do not recommend. And
R.I.P.'s
R.I.P. to the Sony's weird Spider-Man
universe.
adjacent universe.
We hardly knew ye, and we wish we didn't at all.
We hardly knew ye, and I'm not better off for it.
I'm glad we got Venom and Venom 2.
Well, Tony's also glad apparently that we got Morbius because now he gets to watch Morbius again.
Oh,
it's Morbin time.
I was just about to say that the time has passed. I was going to do it before this podcast. I am not. This podcast is currently happening, so I will not be revisiting Morbius.
So Tony made it clear that Kraven's his favorite of this year of the three.
Yes,
James, is it your favorite of the three?
That's a fucking low bar to clear. Jesus.
I would put it Venom 1, Venom 2.
I was asking about Venom 1. I was asking about Venom 3, Madame Web,
and this.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fuck Venom 3.
Look, here's how I'm going to rank this for you. It is going to be a 1, 2, 3 ranking for this year, but just understand that there's about 6,000 feet of shit above where number 1 starts. And then there was Kraven for hilarity's sake because it actually made me hate watch it, Madame Web, and then Morbius because
Venom.
Oh, sorry. Then Venom. Morbius falls underneath that too. Venom can fall there because it was not entertained. Madame Web at least entertained me with how fucking terrible it was. That's my ranking. 6,000 pounds of shit first, though.
What about you, Dave?
Yeah, Kraven, Venom, Madame Web. Madame Web made me angry. This movie, I was just bored.
Bad. Yeah.
I was just bored. Less bored than I was during Venom, but bored.
Yeah.
And especially after seeing September 5th, I was just like, well, this is a come down.
Yeah.
This is a come down. Is it better or worse than Deadpool and Wolverine? Would you watch it again? Because I know you're very...
Kraven?
Yeah.
No.
Because I know you were me and you were kind of ambivalent on Deadpool Wolverine.
I would watch Deadpool and Wolverine before I watch this. Yeah, between those two. I would watch literally anything else before I watch those two movies, but I would like to watch Deadpool and Wolverine again. I have no desire to rewatch Kraven.
So it's never going to be Kraven time at your house?
No. Nor will it be Morbin time. Nor will it be Madame Webben time.
But she
could be Venom time.
But she was researching spiders in the Amazon before she died.
The fact that line is not even in the movie is testament to how fucking dog shit that movie is.
Well, that's one movie down on our Aaron Taylor Johnson double bill.
Great.
Now it's time to spoil the shit out of Nosferatu for James.
I'm leaving. I'm out.
See you later.
So Tony and I had the great fortune of being able to see the new Robert Eggers joint, our patron saint of the podcast, Robert Eggers. Nosferatu last week on Friday the 13th in IMAX at the Scotiabank.
Damn.
And it was very much worth the watch. We got posters. James, you got one today.
Thank you.
You missed out on the toukes.
The toukes.
It's a pretty boss toque. It's very warm too.
We literally almost like walked past, but then all of a sudden this one of the people working for the production company just literally like throws the toques in front of us. I was like, oh, toques, fuck yeah.
Man,
yeah, Tony's like, what's going on? He's like, fuck yeah.
Those toques look so good.
Fuck yeah, thank you. Yeah,
they're pretty
nice
boss toques.
Yeah,
pretty boss toques. And the boys at the movie podcast introed.
Oh,
so that was kind of fun. Kudos to them. Nosferatu. What can I say without?
Y'all have both seen the OG, yeah?
I've never seen the OG.
Really?
Never seen it. You're talking about the OG from the 20s, right? I've seen scenes from it.
Okay.
We did cover it in
film school.
Makes sense. Yeah, of course you did.
Of course.
I watched it as part of one of my 31 in October a few years back.
Nice.
The full thing. I did that and the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari.
I still need to see that.
That one's a good one. That one's a good one too.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
But
my 20s movie knowledge is very limited.
Yeah. See, you gotta pump up those 20s numbers on Letterboxd. Those 20 numbers. You're lacking. That decade's slacking for you.
That decade most certainly is slacking. I got my Nanook of the North on.
Fuck. I actually have to watch Nanook of the North. I never have. I've only heard nonsense from him.
It's pretty. It's
it's something.
It's for what it is, man. It's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I've seen the original, but anyway, so now tell me how.
So he's been working towards this film for like his entire life.
Yeah.
Like he's been talking about making Nosferatu.
Everything has led to Nosferatu.
He's been talking about making Nosferatu since like before The Witch. Like this has been his life's ambition, was to make Nosferatu.
Wild shit.
So in that respect, I really liked it. And it's a gothic nightmare, and the way he frames it and shoots it and just the feel and the atmosphere, it's fucking creepy as shit. And it's just unsettling to watch. The young woman beside Tony was having conniptions during this movie. She was not prepared for this.
It was her introduction to Eggers. Before that, I was chatting her up a little bit before the film, and I was just like, oh, so like, have you seen any of his other movies? She's like, this is the first one. I was like, oh, honey. I was like, oh, sweetheart. Like,
sweetie.
You don't know what you're in for. She's like, yeah, I hope it's not too gory. And I was like,
Cindy was not prepared.
Yeah, she was not. She was not prepared. There was one scene where I could literally feel her just sink into her chair.
Yeah, that tracks. You don't start at Nosferatu.
No,
you work your way into Nosferatu.
I think I sold her on The Lighthouse though. I think she went. I think she's gonna watch The Lighthouse.
You're gonna see her again, and she's gonna slap you across.
She's gonna. What is wrong with you? She's gonna beat me for sure.
That was the second movie we saw at TIFF.
Yep.
Yeah, that was rough.
What the fuck, man?
That was a rough.
That movie has grown on me like a pile of moss, though. I adore The Lighthouse so much now.
So for anyone who's not James and his fucking lighthouse fetish, who doesn't know the story of Nosferatu,
I do.
Well, I'm glad you do. I didn't know the story.
Oh, sure, go on.
So it's a take on Dracula without being able to say the word Dracula or use those characters.
Correct.
So Count Orlok wants to buy a home in what is it, like a town in England, and the gentleman has to go get him to sign the papers. Unbeknownst to him, his new wife has made a pact with Nosferatu to be his lover, his bride. And, shit goes south. And
real quick.
Pretty quick. And as Count Orlok makes his way to the town, the plague comes with him. And apparently this film used 10,000 real rats.
Jesus.
There are many.
Eggers is a madman. That ain't no CGI.
There are many scenes with rats. And
Jesus.
It's in color, but it's definitely like, it might as well be in black and white.
Yeah.
Outside of any
scenes,
desaturated. It's so desaturated.
There's a lot of blues, a lot of blacks, a lot of grays.
It's so gray.
Yeah.
And so gross. Like, I know we talk about Marvel gray, which is just gross. Like, this is like, it's supposed to look like this.
Yeah.
And it looks exactly how, like, it looks and it feels exactly how you would imagine it would.
Yeah.
And there's minimal CGI, or at least they do a very good job of masking it, because Count Orlok, when he finally shows up, you don't really get to see a full shot of him until into the film. Like they do a lot of just like
shadows
and and unfocused shots.
Yeah.
And you see his hand a lot, and you hear his voice.
Yeah, okay.
And it's Tony's buddy Bill Skarsgård, he's pretty great in it. I thought he was very good.
You just need to put a pound of makeup, or like pounds of makeup on this guy, and he just delivers a hell of a performance. Dave says he's good in Barbarian. I always compare him to Pennywise.
You need to get Pennywise off the pedestal.
Of course, but that is his best role.
I know, but he needs to do more than that.
I totally get it.
This might be his new best role.
I'm basically what I'm trying to say is he's good at being monsters.
Fair.
Like, he plays the monster role so well, and it's just his presence. Like, he doesn't really need to talk. It's just his presence in the movie, and he's so fucking terrifying. Dave has been making fun of me for days before this recording that I was gonna blow my load on the cinematography and the mise en scène. Dude, the cinematography It is beautiful.
It's unreal how good this movie looks.
Like
we were spoiled seeing it on IMAX.
We were literally spoiled because like on that screen it looked absolutely magnificent. I was a little bit on the fence when I first saw it. A lot of people kept asking me what I thought, and I was like, I really need to sit on it. And the more I think about this movie as the days go on, the more and more I like it, because like it's the little nuances that he does. Like it's Eggers. Like
that's the Eggers way, man.
That's the Eggers way. Like he literally puts so much thought, so much. There's so much to his craft, and you can see that he was building to this moment. And yeah, it's a really well done film.
Yeah.
I think the only other thing that I really want to harp on, other than Willem Dafoe, is off the chain in this, and it's beautiful. I love him so much.
There's one shot of him. He's got his whole out on, and like there's fire going on, and it's literally like picturesque. And there's a lot of those shots. I haven't really said I don't really make this comment a lot. I made the comment on
Chloe does not like what you're saying.
Chloe doesn't like what I'm saying either. I made this comment on Infinity Pool that there was a shot in it where I literally wanted to just take it and mount it on the wall. There were shots in national anthem that you could literally, didn't matter what frame. In this movie it's the same, and there's this one shot at the end that it was absolutely so beautiful. I literally turned to David. I was like, I want that on my wall. I want that frame on my wall.
Yeah.
It was so good. He has these moments where you could literally just take it. You could literally take it and you can mount it on the wall. Like it's just, there's so much detail and there's so much like movement with the camera and the way it lingers, and like
Did you like the pans?
It just adds to the atmosphere, and plus mixed with the music is so well done in this movie too, right? And like even the editing and the pacing, like this, there's so much to this craft, and it's so technical. Like I could write you an essay on all the technical aspects of this movie. Like I'm enamored by it. And I'm amazed that this exists and that it's coming out on fucking Christmas.
Yeah, well, it is a Christmas movie.
Yeah, that there's also that.
It is a Christmas movie.
David spent 10 minutes trying to convince me to put it on my Christmas list.
It's an unsettling fucking Christmas movie, and it's not the feel good movie of Christmas, but it is a must see whether you like Eggers or not. But I mentioned Dafoe being off the chain. Ralph Ineson. He's really good in this. He was the lead in The Witch. He's in The Northman. He's really good in this. Simon, I just lost his name. Where's your name, sir? Simon McBurney is he plays Knock. He's the lead, the head guy at the real estate thing.
Okay.
He is like going for it. This guy's like fucking, if anybody in this movie could even compare to fucking Skarsgård in terms of being creepy as shit, it's this guy.
Yeah.
And you see him in the trailer. They sell him a lot in the trailer, and he does not disappoint. Emma Corrin, I wanted more from. Our boy Aaron Taylor Johnson, I think, gets some great moments in this.
Yep.
He's not as good as he is in Kraven.
No.
But he's pretty good. There's definitely there's some devastating moments later in the film that really stuck with me, and he sells them very well. And I thought Nicholas Hoult was
great.
I thought he was very good. I know
he played the role so well.
He's not getting the praise he deserves, but I thought he was pretty good.
Yeah.
But all of this to say, Lily Rose Depp, good God, she is incredible in this film.
Yeah.
She is so fucking good.
Like go for broke. Like this is like Toni Collette in Hereditary, like that kind of level. Like she is so vulnerable in this movie, and she gives it her all.
You know who she reminded me of a lot? I just want to see if I can get her name right. She was in The First Omen.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember her name, but
Nell Tiger Free from First Omen. Remember how we talked about her and how she was go for broke?
Yeah.
And how she was doing like like some of the body movement she was doing, like that's what Lily Rose Depp is doing here.
Yep. It's a very physical performance.
It's a very physical performance.
Neat.
It's a very scary performance, and she's putting it all out there on the screen. And you definitely forget who her dad is.
Yeah, definitely.
And you're just watching her, and she's just acting circles around. Everyone's doing their best, doing great work, but she's acting circles around everyone, and she's like standing up to Skarsgård, and it's fucking terrifying watching them together and watching them apart, and just like some of the shit she has to go through. Like you can't look away from it. And like she's a bigger part of the second half than she is in the first half, but it might be one of the best performances in an Eggers movie.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Well,
might even be the best performance that Eggers has ever gotten out of someone. All of this to say, it's much better than Kraven the Hunter. And
no kidding.
James, you owe it to yourself to see it as soon as you can. And if you're able to see it in an IMAX, if anyone's able to see it in an IMAX, you should definitely take the opportunity and see it. But yeah, I haven't stopped thinking about this movie in a few days now.
Honestly, the more I see press about it, I'm just like, this movie's sticking with me for sure. Dave, where would you? Because this isn't the first time we've covered Eggers on this podcast.
That's why I call them our patron saint.
Yes, of course.
Yes.
Where would you put this in your Eggers filmography?
Might be the first number one.
Number one?
Might be. I really like Northman. I'm warming up to The Witch. Still not getting behind The Lighthouse, but I have warmed up to The Witch.
Get it, man.
I'm sure I will warm up to The Lighthouse eventually. But yes,
this is about 4 or 5 more rewatches.
This is the first time where I was like all in. Like I enjoyed The Northman, and I liked it a lot more than James did when we watched it together.
Yeah,
but it's
grown on me too.
It was all in from the start right through the finish of this one.
Yeah,
and I know like some of it was like you needed a minute for some of it, but like I was in the whole time.
Nice.
What about you, sir?
To me, my favorite is still The Northman. The like I can't compare anything to The Northman. You
just like them fighting at the gates of hell naked.
Dude, again, you want to talk about fucking shots that you can take. Northman is my favorite, but I will say the best is still The Lighthouse. But I will say I've seen The Lighthouse more than once. I feel with Nosferatu, the more I watch it, it might go up. I still can't get behind The Witch. I got yelled at work for speaking blasphemy of The Witch, and
you can blaspheme on The Witch all you want.
Honestly, I still can't get behind it. I'm
gonna get Black Phillip on the horn, guys. He's gonna come.
Just because you have the fucking pop vinyl.
I'm so happy I have that pop vinyl.
Eggers is one of that guy that he just fucking grows on you, because every watch is not the same. You picks things up on the rewatches and stuff.
Agreed.
And that's why I say that The Lighthouse is, I still think his crowning achievement is The Lighthouse. Only because of what he's able to get fucking Pattinson and Defoe to do.
That was all method.
It was all method, but like even the performance that he got out of Depp in this one is fucking like believe the hype. This one will stick with you. So we did a pretty good job, James. We didn't spoil it for you. You still have absolutely nothing about this movie.
Yes.
Other than your cousin loves the fucking cinematography and the mise en scène
and on all the character performances and generally what happens in the movie. So thanks. That's fine. I've seen the original. It's not really that big of a spoiler. I knew exactly what was going to happen anyway.
Whatever. We didn't spoil it.
I didn't spoil it. I don't think we spoiled it.
No, it was fine. I just had to sit here and listen to you two gush about a movie that I have absolutely no context to.
Well,
but anyway, I'm glad you both enjoyed it. I will eventually at some point one day see it when regular folk get to see it. And,
it's not too far away. It's not too
far.
Thankfully.
Next Wednesday.
It's not too far away. It didn't need to be in screener time, so it's close.
That's
James.
true.
That's close, buddy.
It's close.
That's
and
true.
Of our Aaron Taylor Johnson double bill, this is certainly the one to go see.
Yes, absolutely. that is an easy one even for me to say, and I haven't seen Nosferatu, and I can tell you, don't bother with Kraven the Hunter.
Yes, just succumb to the darkness.
Fair enough.
And see Nosferatu.
Fair enough.
Skip Christmas dinner. Just go see it. Don't even open the presents. Just go see it.
Just go. Do not pass go. Anyway, I think that'll just about wrap us up then for today.
Yeah, our last episode, the penultimate episode of season 3, but our last episode recording for 2023.
Yeah.
Yes.
2023?
2024.
There we go. Bump yourself up here.
2024. The next time you hear from us will be in 2025.
Very early 2025, I believe.
Yes.
We'll be back to talk about all the movies. So I think the only homework assignment that the three of us have between now and the recording of our finale episode is to cram in as much 2024 content as we possibly can. And color in all those blind spots we may have had for movies that come out. That came out this year.
That is correct. Get excited, gang.
Hell yeah.
The next time you hear from us, it's going to be top 10 time, baby.
Hell yeah. Well, until then, I'm still Jimmy, and I'm here with
Big T Tony B.
Yeah, and
Dramatic Dave.
And we will see you in the new year, folks.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah. Crazy Kwanzaa. Whatever you celebrate.
We love you all, and we just hope you have a wonderful holiday season.
Happy holidays, everybody.
See you in the new year.